Hi everyone and welcome for today's video. Are you already up and about creating art for Christmas as giveaways or presents for your loved ones? I really am. And for today's video I'm going to serve you well because we are making some service trays. I think this was a great pun. And we are going to make 3 different service trays in this video here. It is sped up of course, otherwise it would have needed about 45 minutes to create them all. But you can see all the steps that I did on the go. I'm going to show you 3 of these service boards in this video here, not because they were planned as a set, but more like they come in a somewhat fitting color scheme, I'd say. So the first one that we are going to create is a golden one, the second is a silver one, and the third is a copper one. So a metallic color combination, so to speak. I wanted the gold and the silver one to be like marble, so a bit with a marble effect. And for the copper one I wanted to go a bit more high contrast, and it should be an outstanding piece to the other two. And I really think I managed to do this. But now just follow along. The service trays themselves I ordered online on Amazon. They are 33-ish centimeters wide. They are made of bamboo, and the first thing that I noticed when I unpacked them is that the bottom is not even. Some are warped towards the middle, some are warped towards the edges, which really is a tough thing to do if you plan on working with resin. And even worse, there was no way to fix this easily, so I was not able to remove the bottom on its own to make it more level and put it in there. I thought about putting some cheap resin in there just to level it out and pour over this. This is something I probably should have done, but as the warping in these 3 was not that bad, I just wanted to see if it works out. For the gold one I painted it black, just as a base layer to make the colors brighter and the gold pop even more. I could have left it as it was or could have painted it even white, because I use white and gold for this pour, but I decided for black just to give it more depth and contrast. You'll see in the end that it looks a bit different with a black underlayer than the second one does, where I did no underlayer, and the third one did, where I did a white underlayer. So you can see the differences there, and I think especially for the gold it gives it more depth because there is more color definition and shades in there. You will see, make up your own mind what you like the best. And other than that, it was basically just mixing up my resin. For this one here I'm using the Art Resin. I normally would have went for the Resonate resin because it only has about 15 minutes working time and it cures much quicker, and the resin is not moving around that much or that long. But I ran out of it, so I had to use the Art Resin, which is a great resin as well, but has a working time of about 45 minutes, which adds more tricks to the entire piece. So I mix it up, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 part of the hardener and 1 part of the resin. Mix it up very well until everything is crystal clear and there are no streaks and streams in there anymore, and then I just split them into 2. I used the white pigment paste to color in 1 cup of the resin and gold pearl pigments for the gold one. And of course there was glitter involved. I added gold glitter for the gold and I added some whitish glitter for the white paint, mixed it in there, and then I just started pouring everything into the tray. I used a palette knife to spread the white around a bit more, just to have a more even coat and a surface layer to have the gold flow over. Try to cover everything as good as I can. For one part I wanted to be sure that I had enough pigments mixed into the resin to cover most part of the dark underlayer. So if I would have mixed not enough white pigments in there, it would have been more see-through or translucent, and I would have seen the base layer through too much, which I honestly really did not want. So I wanted to be white with a bit of see-through areas where it shimmers a bit more dark. You will see. And then I just added the gold on top of it. I moved it around until I had a decent design that I think was nice looking, and used a torch or a heat gun this time just to have it pop the air bubbles and make it more fluid and create some cells, perhaps, which it did not do this time. But of course it made it more fluid and everything was flowing a bit more, and in the sped up version you also can see that everything was moving towards the edges a bit, which was annoying because I really liked the design that I had in the first place. So I had to move it around every now and then while it was curing, just to get some of the gold back into the middle. Knowing that afterwards, I really would have loved to have an even surface, and I should have used a cheaper resin just to level it out before I used the Art Resin, to make a design on this. You always know after it's done, but I genuinely like the result that I achieved, and it has this marble look that I was going for. So bottom line, this one I really liked, and I filmed it outside in the sunlight just to give you an impression how it really looked and how it shimmers. The second service tray basically was the very same approach. It has the same size, it's the same materials, I used the same resin and just switched the gold to a silver pigment, which basically did the very same as the gold. I used silver glitter, of course, and I did not make an underpainting this time, so I just poured everything blank onto the wood. I did not expect anything to see through because I pigmented the resin very well and just poured straight onto it. I again used my palette knife to intermix the colors a bit, just to give this marble effect a go, but luckily things were flowing a bit less this time, so this tray was a bit more even and level, and I as well achieved the marble look that I was looking for. The gold one and this one are a bit more muted than my regular color choices. As you know, I love the contrast, and I wanted to go a bit more heavy on contrast for the last one. I also limited myself for 2 colors, so it is a white and a copper color this time, and of course copper glitter, just to make it work. And design wise I wanted to try something different, which I was not sure if it works out because, you know, the flowing around reasons and the not level surface, but we will see. And I must admit, this one was my most favorite one. It really turned out super sweet, I loved it. It glittered in the sunlight, as you will see in the very end. And I really liked how it came out. For this one I made a white underpainting, so basically just a white acrylic paint. I let it dry and then started pouring. You will see in this better version that everything is flowing towards the middle here, so this one was uneven as well, but this time bent towards the middle. Of course I had to move the colors around once they were poured on there, and again I used the palette knife to spread the white around as a base layer and added the copper on top of it. Tilted the board every now and then just to stretch the colors a bit more and to make somewhat design. And I used the heat gun again just to try to create cells this time, which I finally managed to do. So this piece has some cells. They are not really large cells because I really cannot tilt everything too much. But having nothing being able to flow over the edges is a bit tricky, and bottom line I really was happy about the result that I got. I thought it was breathtaking, it was really sweet, this rose look that I achieved here, and I filmed it again outside in the sunlight. I really like this one. And if you wish to adopt some of these service trays for yourself, if you like, just send me a message and we can talk it through. Would be happy, of course. And of course, I cannot wait to hear what you think about them, if you like them, if you have tried to pour your own service trays or decoration trays already yourself. If so, I would be happy to see them. And if you have any more tips for me or all the other viewers, just leave them down below in the comment section. I will be happy to read them and reply to as many as I can. If you want to see what I've used, I've linked most of the products down below in my video description, along as my social media links if you want to get in touch with me, or my Patreon page if you want to support me there. And again, as it's still before Christmas, I'm going to cut in the special price 20 by 20 centimeter canvases by the end of the video. Many of them were already picked by you, and it made me super happy that so many of you want to have some of my artwork for yourself. A couple of them are still available, and so I just put them in there. I marked the ones that were sold, and if you're interested in getting one of the others, just text me with the number you would like to have. It's first come first serve basis, so just text me and I will see if I still have them. So if you like this video demonstration, I would be happy if you can give me a thumbs up, and even better, subscribe to my channel to not miss out any of my new videos. Share with your friends and family and with everyone who might be interested in watching this. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and other than that, I hope to see you in my next videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.